And we're going to see how God's famous prophet David, how he dealt with his misery. And maybe this is somewhere you're going to relate to today as well. Maybe there is a pain in your life. Maybe there is an open wound that you don't know how to deal with. And you can look at what David does as he struggles with his own hardship. Well, every time that we do return to the Psalms here at Knox, we are reminded that there is a story behind each psalm. We need to understand that because that makes the Psalms more alive to us, more interesting. We love stories, and when we realize there's a story, this is not just a song that somebody made up on the spot randomly. It usually has a real story behind it. Now, some of those stories are in the Old Testament, like the connection between something that was happening in, say, David's life over here in 1 Chronicles, and then we can read the psalm that he wrote in response to that. We can see the connection. Well, sometimes we have psalms where we piece together the story from contextual clues that are inside the psalm. And that's what we have to do here in Psalm 38. We don't know exactly what is going on, but we can certainly put together a lot of these pieces of the clues to figure out the general story of what's happening here. And what's happening in Psalm 38 is that David is dealing with a physical illness that is far more than sniffles and a headache. David here, the language, the poetic language here is intense. He's going through, let's make a list of everything, of his symptoms here. He talks about unsound flesh, weak bones, stinking and festering wounds, which if you need an insult against somebody, that's a really good one right there. You're a stinking and festering wound. Sides that are burning. He's feeling feeble. He's groaning. His strength is fading. And on top of that, he is in great pain. You know how you go to the doctor and they say, oh, okay, on a chart, 0 to 10, where's your pain level right now? David would say, is there an 11? I would like to put my feelings right there. That is what I am feeling at this moment. And on top of this admission of physical pain, he talks about how his friends have all but abandoned him. His family is nowhere to be found. When you're in pain, when you're in misery, you kind of want to surround yourself with people who are sympathetic. And in this moment in his life, he's just looking at the backsides of people as they walk away from him. And so he feels that abandonment in this hour of need. And then on top of that, the greatest problem is that David recognizes that this suffering he's going through is a result of a personal sin in his life.